doing for porn.
That is literally false. We're literally working on a card game.
Softcore.
It's not porn at all.
Here I go. It's over. Say no more. Say no more.
Kyle, you saw that video I added you?
No, I have not. I've been very preoccupied.
Sorry, Sparta. He's been preoccupied.
A foreign concept to them.
You know, it's not like I'm usually busy or anything myself or doing other things, but no. Just because he thinks I don't work enough, I don't count as a person.
I'm glad we've come to an understanding.
I have not seen the P3 trailer because I was told there were spoilers in it. I haven't beat the game yet, Sparta. Also, hello, Kafka Rose. Hey, you play Hanukkah You play Hanukkah. Do we get free gold tickets as long as we sign in, like, forever? Or what's the deal with that situation? I'll have to do some stuff in the background while Kyle's streaming.
Now you see what I can do. Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade. Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade. My turn.
It's every version. If any is wrong, literally everything that was shown is what you already played. Can't be too careful. I know you want me to. I know you don't want me to beat the original Persona 3. Can't be too careful. You might spoil it for me.
I know P3 is a long game, but it's not a game that takes you 2 years to beat.
I've been editing too much at night. If I really wanted to this week, I could just probably get it done by like the end of the week if I just play it nonstop. I'm actually excited for the P3 remake. Sure you are. Sure you are. I believe you.
Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade. Not a chance. Dragon Shell. I'm not done. Hurricane Thrust. I'm not in it. My turn. Wind Astral Energy. I'm not good.
We'll have to wait and see if it'll actually be a decent game. So Rose, then you just sign in, you get free fucking multi tickets then? Then I'll just save up my tickets so I have like 100, so that way I don't fucking just waste them on fucking random characters. The characters no longer work. You only get 10. Those 10 every version. What do you mean every version? You mean like? So it's not guaranteed every time. Then it's just like generically, like you'll just get them. Or is it like when you say every version, you mean every update? Oh, that sucks. How the fuck are you supposed to get characters for free to play then? They now have their own unique outfits like P5? I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I think I preferred it when they actually did wear the school uniforms because that just made more sense for their character, I think.
What's going on?
Apparently, the P3 characters will no longer be using their school uniforms for Tartarus. They'll have their own uniforms.
I mean, it mustn't be too hard when they're literally using the same character assets from Free's dancing game.
Hello, Samaj.
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Doe?
You two. Thank goodness you're safe. Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
So she really was being controlled.
She doesn't remember a thing. So she really was being
He told
controlled.
me about Ptarmigan too. Is it true?
He told me about Tarnigan too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off! Just for one.
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegus is in great.
Kyle, don't laugh!
Reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we managed to keep online, but complete restoration still a way off. You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep.
Also, Fuka now is drip.
Risk of riots breaking out.
Can Keysword from SDBH remove or seal all Dante's power? I have no idea what that is.
I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon. What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't? Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed.
Are you
Which
out
is
of
looking
your
doubtful
mind?
at this stage.
What if people knew that a lord
Are
was
you
your-
out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegus from spiraling out of control.
But how do we do
We need to stop that riot.
Riots
But how do we do that?
discontent and unrest, right? So
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease. Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust.
Who's the highest ranking person in Lenegus right now?
Just Dohalim.
Who's the highest ranking person in Lenegus right now?
After all, you said the
Lenegus
Sovereign
wouldn't have a
rules over
next in
everyone
line.
directly.
After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then.
Abakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which
Abakir,
ones?
you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which
Dohalim, like, damn it, I have to use my fucking cred.
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
It's always Among Us.
Heed you now, fellow remnants of Lenegus. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldaman and Sia.
Look, up there, it's Lord Dohalim.
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
Just lie and say you won.
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord,
Question for Balrog, what is your favorite Gwar song?
you're afraid. As people so often are when faced with the unknown.
I'm not sure. I'll think about that and I'll get back to you.
The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegus, not the lords and sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together.
Alright, don't listen to him, he's fucking crazy.
Don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences. If we put our hearts and minds
Don't listen to him, he's the only Black Lord.
confident we will find what we
See, this is why we don't make those people.
Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among men. I hope that you'll
To
lend
put all of your minds at ease, I'll be playing non-stop Wu-Tang Clan.
a bright tomorrow.
Wu-Tang Clan, Kyle.
What? Is there something wrong with that pic?
Looks like the city won't be descending
No.
into chaos after all.
Not at all.
I
Totally.
only pray the relief will tide the
What, you want me to be more specific and say you get nothing but Rizza?
Said earlier about the Sovereign possibly not even existing. Was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been.
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy up here? Authority. The very foundations of Renan society. How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't be serious.
I must take care of first. But once everything is over,
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return.
Wu-Tang Clan has a few good songs.
But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader.
Listen, woman, I kill fiancés and expectations.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling.
Can Toby Spider-Man stomp beat all the live-action Batman? I'd say so. Do you guys listen to Korn? Kyle seems like the kind of guy who listens to Korn.
Birthright, or on the power of their astral arts.
That seems like an insult.
More important things.
I never said that.
Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different.
I wonder why. Maybe it's because I was blind, maybe it's because people say that I'm black, but all I see is black.
To see a future.
You guys just listen to bad songs then? Yeah, Kyle listens to bad Korn
You
music.
go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegus till you get back.
Thank you.
I will say the voice actor for P3 are a complete downgrade compared to the original, so I'm probably gonna play it in Japanese.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Elda Menancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegus who need someone to guide them. Besides,
Riot music is great, bro. Pentakill is solid.
it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
for the long haul. How could I not?
Sounds like you're in it for the
Second
long
chance
haul.
that I've been granted.
How could I not be? After the second chance that I've been granted.
Day 4. I shall dedicate myself to the future.
From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world.
I will not be a sovereign. You shall now call me emperor.
Forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits.
Late Turn Solid Pretty Banger, they are.
Looks like the people of Lenegus can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
You're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
Wow, the race is popping up.
In one sense, when all is said and done, perhaps I have been a slave this whole time too.
Oh, do not play that card.
How do you figure that out? Wesley?
I was complicit in the Renan system, bound by its values.
He's bringing out the race card. He's calling himself a slave to an actual slave.
When I realized the yet my first instinct was to place my fate in the hands of others.
I think I can relate. I couldn't stand watching my people bow and scrape their way through life, but I didn't know what else I could do about it either. The ability to think for yourself and be your own master. That's what separates a slave from a free person. At least, that's what Law's dad Zephyr used to say. Zephyr taught me how to fight. But in doing so, he also taught me how to live.
Even if it means stumbling along the way. If it's on a road of our own choosing, free of
I could probably do it one of these days. Power of Hope versus Power of Simping. I'll keep Korn to remove Wu-Tang. I'll agree with that. Can I percent user see Persona or no?
Even the largest of kings is no freer than a slave. I think I finally understand now. This Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise man indeed. I only wish I could have met him.
There's just so much I wish I could ask him, especially now. I wonder, have I been correctly carrying on the torch that he passed to me?
How long have you known?
Known what?
About the darkness I carry inside me. I seem to have been aware of it for quite some time now.
Why ask me now? What does it matter? But yes, I have. I've pretty much known that something was gnawing at you ever since we left Menancia.
So basically since the very start of our journey then. Just when I thought I couldn't feel more ashamed.
Leave the past where it belongs.
Zen, where's the Uno stream at?
No need for it.
Hi, man. Yep.
You're forging ahead. That's what matters. If my brother could see you, he'd be proud.
Not as proud as he would be of his sister, I'm sure.
Well then, just as well it's not a competition, huh?
More ever.
Kisara? Anyone at home in there?
Sorry. Did I look distracted?
Among other things. To be entirely honest, I couldn't tell whether you were smiling or frowning.
You were thinking about Dohalim, weren't you?
That obvious, huh? I was just thinking how good it is to see him moving forward at last. It was always so infuriating, knowing how capable he could be if he just put his mind to it. A prisoner trapped in a cage of his own self-doubt. But now, he's finally beginning to spread his wings. I'm happy for him.
So, then why do you look so sad?
Oh, I don't know if I'd say sad.
Damn.
There's a bittersweetness to it, I guess. It's good and strange.
He's being self-sufficient. I can't have that.
It probably sounds weird, doesn't it? I have this massive worry off my mind. I should be jumping up and down for joy, right?
Must be that maternal instinct of yours at work.
Rinwell's right. You're like a mother bird, finally letting go as her child takes his first shaking and nervous flight from the nest.
I'm beast. I don't know what you're talking about.
A pretty big child.
That's one way to look at it. I wouldn't like to see Dohalim's face if he heard you say that. All this has made me realize I can't allow myself to become a prisoner of my own making like he was. If Dohalim can forge his own path ahead, then I can too. I won't be left behind.
Source. Honestly, I'm a little offended you guys think I'm bad at Uno. What would lead you guys to believe me being bad at Uno, honestly? Kratos versus Altair? Pretty sure Kratos does take that matchup. Because you suck at everything? I'm literally a beast at everything. What the fuck are you talking about? Do you think you're more better than Kyle? I don't know. Kyle, how good are you? I don't know.
It depends on the height of the cards.
Yeah, I'm better than Uno. You're cooking with like a word? You mean my god tier cooking? What about it?
Your god tier cooking. I'd love to see some god tier cooking from you.
You already seen it.
No. I want to see god tier cooking, not you sending food to God.
It's god tier cooking. What are you talking about, Kyle? Stop joking around.
Then God must have some pretty low expectations.
You guys just don't appreciate fine dining.
Fuck, if that's fine dining for you, I'd hate to see you roughing it.
I thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again.
Speak for yourself, you found nothing, I found drip.
Too. Like figuring out how to reform Lenegis.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates.
I got a matching dress with my girlfriend now.
Who's really running the show on Rena?
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan homeworld.
What the fuck?
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. Who's responsible for all this? The Red Woman and the Renaissama. The answers have to be there. Are we prepared to finally find them?
Zim have no girlfriend?
So,
Yeah, but no one else who has a girlfriend is fucking double.
Nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take any serious steps.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should... What?
You gonna speak English this time? I think you're being told to go away.
I dare say we have been. And they were never heard from again. You got the bad ending.
Well, damn, fuck.
Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
Controls aren't accepting my command.
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands.
Bad, right?
The engine is being shut down.
that's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone, look there.
Concession accepted, Lenegis.
Ooh, let's go anime cutscene.
Another one?
What the fuck?
What the hell happened to that planet? What the fuck is going on? Can Luffy Naruto hold Gear 5? Yes. If you say so, CD.
A flower blooming out of Rena?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's energy.
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
We can only pray that they are.
Sonic got a new form. Yes, Sonic got Super Saiyan 2.
What?
His supersonic form got stronger.
Sonic.
Yeah.
Is this in the comic or?
It's in the game. He goes into supersonic, and then his hair gets sharper and lightning appears around him, but it's black.
Starships are extremely complex machines.
Can they not literally rip Dragon Ball like blow for blow?
No.
What? We're just stuck inside here floating around? For how long?
Gotta go fast.
You know, if they do a Supersonic 3 and he looks exactly like Goku, it's on purpose now.
Blood thinks he's Goku? Why would he want to think he's less?
You're not the only one who's worried here.
Right. Sorry.
I'm
It's still too early to give up.
Sonic has their own path of destruction that comes down and says, I'm looking for the supersonic god.
I'm looking for the god Hedgehog. Where is he? Did Dragon Ball copy Sonic first, right? So, I don't remember. I think Supersonic does come first, but I'm not too sure.
No. The Namek arc came before Sonic 2.
No, but I think Sonic 2 came out before Super Saiyan was actually revealed.
In the anime, maybe, not the manga.
Well, how old's the manga?
How old's the manga?
Yeah.
I think the Namek saga started in I want to say either 90 or 91.
Supersonic 2? Let me actually see on something.
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile.
It was that sovereign asshole.
Why would anyone want to bring us here?
Hey, Shion! If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see where this path takes us.
Sorry, I was just reminded of the One Piece fan fictions, thinking about it, where they're like, Luffy should get a gear hate.
Here, lend me a hand while I... No! What the... Oh, right. The thorns. My bad.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I overreacted.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's fine. I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on eggshells around me.
She should just let Law touch her.
Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys, not the other way around.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask. Not being able to touch people, does it ever get lonely sometimes?
Does it ever get lonely, Kyle?
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms. It was either accept it for what it was,
Law does something completely, like, unintentionally, like, unappealing. Rimwell, how dare you put your foot... Can you not? And then she's like, do you feel lonely not touching people? You feel an unending sorrow.
Yeah, Law, be careful. Put your foot in your mouth.
It's fine. I know I'm not alone.
No way of lending you a shoulder when you're down? Even Alphen.
I appreciate the concern.
I wish.
Get rid of these thorns. I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer, but not forever. Alphen promised me that. Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be. But either way,
I wish Alphen was in this scene where she's like, even Alphen will lend you a shoulder, and Alphen just taps his shoulder like, Shion, right now, put your head on there, I can take it.
You'll see. I promise.
I like how she's saying that like Alphen wouldn't just immediately fucking like just have a lap pillow while fucking suffering to death.
What the? Are you out of your mind? This isn't the time for games, Rinwell.
Oh, come on. How am I supposed to resist with you looking all jittery like that?
It's called experiencing feelings appropriate to the situation. You gotta try it sometime.
Yeah, but seeing you act all nervous, you're making me start to feel nervous too.
Sorry.
Staying
alert is
important.
Sorry. Staying alert is important, but too much caution can cloud your judgment. Try to strike a balance.
Well, I don't understand, like, if Supersonic a new form, I'll just bring back Hypersonic. Because it's gonna be Supersonic 2. Or maybe they will call it Supersonic God.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I
Alphen, I dipped my ball in sulfuric acid. This is nothing.
Still though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars of the heavens.
But the Dans were all worthless.
It was not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest, but also the form of our own planet.
Now they have the insult to come back with. It's just like, yeah, but at least our planet is whole.
Someone formidable enough to bring our starship along with us.
They must be here somewhere. Let's find them.
Giant flower to copying Dragon Guard now?
That beam of light joining Dana and Rena. It was the Renan side that it first came from, right?
That's what it looked like. And then the Danon side responded.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renan homeworld? To reawaken the Wedge and Lenegis?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. What are they after? Is it really worth going through all this trouble just to steal Dana's energy?
Try to stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand, dwelling on it won't get us anywhere. What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing.
And he's dead, so stop saying that.
Making progress, huh?
You made it this far, didn't you?
Careful, if you keep talking like that, the law might make something unfortunate happen.
But you can stand still in the meantime.
Did Sonic master Chaos Emerald's energy? Not too sure. If you're asking can he do Chaos Control, I'm pretty sure he can. Dude, if you deal with that Sovereign asshole, that'd be funny.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that?
It's a fucking lizard.
It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move.
Maybe its batteries are depleted.
Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
Hello, Sovereign. Bitch.
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk. What are you?
Have wrecked 35.
Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
What did you do to us?
You have not been harmed in any way.
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way.
That's sexual harassment.
Identifiers detected.
However,
The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh goody, more riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, maybe our best chance at a ticket out.
Is Supersonic 100%? No, it's just Sonic absorbing the power of the Chaos Emeralds.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helgenquin. The Red Women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Kyle, Met Scorpion versus Fiction.
You are on Dake Phasal, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this great spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it without question throughout the ages.
Can we kill God already?
Does that mean it was controlling your minds?
We're not there yet.
Wait a second. Could this great spirit be the true sovereign of Rena?
It could be the same thing that's
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
This great spirit of yours.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegis. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Think about what you're saying.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Anyone see Neo Fall Rise Bunkerman in the Discord is finding them out? I'm
Claims
not.
is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and
Damn, he's saying you're logical for not believing in the fucking mystical fucking Juju cloud.
Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegis are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy, and the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
Indeed, And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegus was severely damaged.
Yeah, that's when, asshole, you screwed us over.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
This is all happening because of me.
You still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrecht 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to...
Is Hypersonic versus Master Interesting Goku a fair matchup? No, Hypersonic wins.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
Are you fucking serious?
Lenegus has entered the
Oh, Kyle, all of her brain power went to her chest. Don't blame her for this.
As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great
The Savior is the equivalent of a god. Like, there's not too big of a difference there.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning?
We won't let that happen.
Alright, let's go fight a god.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
What does it matter?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You're dying? You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree
And if we don't,
I shall fix your ship.
You will agree to help.
Others? Just how many of you?
this sounds like an ultimatum.
You will agree to help.
Only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Faisal.
Hey! Hey!
Also, look at the Rosa card games, him.
I think it's done talking to us.
Let's see.
Take a look around.
Well, Newman changed a few more things, apparently today during his testing. Chaos Emerald have infinite energy statement many times. I believe they are stated at infinite energy multiple times, yes.
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us into doing its dirty work.
Smartest thing Laws ever said.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you, Dohalim? Were you able to follow it at all?
At the very least, everything it said about the Renin Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day,
Okay, I was just joking about, like, her brain, but if she genuinely couldn't follow that conversation,
had we not previously encountered the
she's missing a few fucking screws.
would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Renin wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dana.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown contest.
There weren't too many changes, but well, here I'll just zap them to you real quickly.
But what about the Renins? How do they factor into all this?
Now that you mention it, an all that talk, Hevric 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on the matter. Let's find out.
Here we go. There we go. All right. Honestly, the best change he put there was the cannot replace on summon. I guess that keeps Tanya from being a supermassive like threat.
Who are they?
Oh,
What is
it's
it?
just been so long since
Oh,
I've seen any
my
humans from the
apologies.
outside world.
It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Well,
Are you
yeah,
a Renan?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
the overseer told us to answer any questions you might have.
The overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
What a weird guy. He must have meant Hevric.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevric 35 when he mentioned that overseer.
You don't think he meant Dana
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dana and Rena,
There's
do you?
anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around.
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
You guys lived up here in Dave Faisal with Hevric 35 for a long time?
Have you guys lived up here in Dag Faisal with Hevric 35
Yeah.
for a long
I
time?
couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's
Yes.
been.
I couldn't tell you off
We
the top of my
regularly
head
go into
just
stasis,
how long it's
so
been
our
though.
sense of time has
We
gotten
regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack over the years.
Damn.
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegus from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Apparently there was some kind of accident.
Oh, it was terrible.
Also, like Kyle, no, I've been gathering collab stuff for Lost Claudia for him as requested.
They presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Hevric 35 ever since?
Well, there you go,
At
Kyle.
first we thought that there was nobody else
Well,
inside the facility.
You're fine, you, and I was just adding Devil for the role changes you're proposing.
What do you mean?
Who conceded to who?
Will have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the red women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself.
That's good, Ewan.
But from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use
Daniel
is
conceded?
only achieved through mechanical means. In addition,
You're talking to
they
somebody
also
else.
used hypnosis devices and information control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary conflict. I have to imagine that's how Lenegus is still run.
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans affected by it in the same way?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renans.
What the fuck?
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell at their deceptions.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevric 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegus? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon. You can ride with us.
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, They'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright.
After all this time, there's nothing to be gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be best to simply stay here and watch everything unfold instead.
That's good, Devil.
Things are going just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much
I
longer.
still need to work on the Rin deck actually and finish that up.
That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on, though.
Thank you for answering our questions. Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
No, I'm busy. Fuck you.
It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift, so I can talk until then.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helgan
species. I can't say I know much about.
You mean the Overseer species? I can't say I know much
Who
about
the hell is Krillin?
Where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
There's no such thing as Renans in the first.
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by the Helganquill.
What the fuck?
But that's true. And that would mean there aren't any people on
But if
Rena.
that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
There aren't, but there are Helganquill. That's what the name literally means in their language. People of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have
Is
to
it?
create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquill are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Danans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying Renans were originally created from Danans that the Helganquill kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use Astro Arts on Dana now.
Helganquill technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries. They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies and...
Enough. You needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance.
Someone kill this guy.
If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it. The Helganquill are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers...
Fuck! If I was in this game, this fucker would have been killed.
I see. Thanks for filling us in.
He expects us to believe that Renans never truly existed.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some new revelation smacks us in the face.
Snake says that that's war never changes.
Then let's hope this is our last revelation for a while.
And Dohalim, how's it feel knowing you're a Renan? Fucking loser.
Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
There were two problems we had to consider.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy.
Oh, so yeah, better give Tom and Ben their own version of Karibo, the perfect guards to kind of keep
I
up.
take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
However, the first plan failed when the
We have a
Sovereign
winner.
was overwhelmed.
However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied.
Because the Maiden lost control.
The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans in Ganquil that day.
I did.
For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renaissance, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana.
Well, by guards you mean counters,
We
right?
could extract energy from it.
And the crown contest began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana. As I'm sure you've
Well, do you mean like perfect counters like in Vanguard where like it just like discard a card from hand, take no damage?
with Rena's planetary structure.
Hevric 35.
So you just mean like discard a card from hand then?
Plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
I would live to see the day with my own eyes.
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes. And yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
I'll kill you. Your mom's DMC5?
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time.
No.
Who knows what shape their minds are in?
Kill him. Right now, Kyle, do it.
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Let's take a moment to gather ourselves. I know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but I think it's fair to say that we've found the answers we've been looking for. Does everyone agree?
Agreed. Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's all because of astral energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Danas.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't direct
Alright, then we'll do it like that. Then I'll also have to decide which cards to upgrade.
all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably take it easy and rest our minds.
Dohalim? Oh no.
Why don't we all
I'm one of these commoners now.
before we decide on our next move?
That's a good idea, Kisara. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in, walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's
Just fuck already.
Sounds good. Let's go find them.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot.
Everything we thought we knew. It was all just a fabrication.
Everything we thought we knew. It was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, that the Helganquil.
Let me see.
Right.
Well, do you think we should just get? Do you think we should make an icon for it then, Yuhin?
Told us that
Assuming you're still here.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
But if Hevric 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really?
Guess we'll just have to find
Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together.
End of story.
And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
I've never seen a man more cock blocked by the universe in my life. Hello, Rocknass. How see? How you doing? Damn.
Seem like he's doing any better now?
He who?
I know that we're all
Oh, you mean Dolly, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all. But he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans, the Great Spirit, and all that?
With Malfoy. What do you
On
mean?
some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hell-bent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Do they have text at the top?
Coexistence between Danans and
Let me
Renans
see.
and Menancia is still a work in progress.
I'll just look up images.
I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us.
So you're racist.
Well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
Okay, I see. The top part level up from.
At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit.
That might make it too cluttered. No, I'll just pick a card that has no real text, and we'll put a counter on that for now. Let me see. Let me look up the Tom deck.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Danans have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Danans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice to get past their hatred like
The only card that has enough space to explain it is, I think, Rookie. Did I not download a new version?
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more...
Fans of Naruto apparently all made better outfits for Sakura's daughter than Kishimoto did. Basically, she doesn't look like a hooker. I'll post it in general if you want to look at it. I've already taken a look at it. I don't know. I have mixed thoughts about it.
It's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true.
I saw the one where she looks like a hooker. Does she have an actual different one?
No, so the fans have made their own fan art version of it. Take a look in general chat.
It won't be achieved through reasoning.
Oh, this is different from what I saw, actually.
If nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
I was thinking of a different one. Because there's one where they actually give her a jacket and shit and everything that like looks a little more like classic Uchihas.
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Ringwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Dan and mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Danans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dana anymore, right? I know it's
I like how Sasuke said he was going to revive his clan but only have one kid. Yeah, Sasuke really dropped the ball on that one.
still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Yeah, I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in.
He revives his clan by marrying Mid.
To change. If I can change, so can anyone else. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danon and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Renwell,
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will...
Zane, you might have dropped the ball at all because Boruto came back with Sasuke's cape and sword.
Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dan is still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
I think the overall issue is simply just that Shogun for Ino. I don't think marrying Sakura was the issue. The problem is that Sasuke probably just doesn't fucking stick around enough to have children.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistlein? Once my memory started coming back to me.
Do we need to... well, fuck. We're not going to need to explain symbols, are we? Because they're going to be in the rules when we're done there.
But thanks to Law and everybody else.
Hi, I can only listen because I'm at work. Yeah, I'm mine almost 15 years now. Have mods for DMC 5 too, only on IW forum, and mods are being made for IW 50th anniversary. Forgive me, I'm not familiar with IW. For some reason he can't because what he says that the village will be invaded.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad and running away from the truth.
I don't know, Carl. I take it you're the guy that was talking about then.
My way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's just all too much for me to handle right now.
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns.
Don't be a smartass.
But I never really opened up to anyone about them. And when I realized my
What's that sound?
to a
What
threat
sound?
that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do or who to tell. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
The thing that's most important, what I really care about. All I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah.
I think we'll do an icon, but I don't think there's a card we can use to explain it currently.
Lift it off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
Cause let me think about it.
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alvin. You as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
To say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis?
Hey guys, sorry we oppressed you for all those years, but we're actually the same people. crazy, right? Yeah, it's not gonna.
Turns out we're not so different after all.
That's not
bygones
gonna.
be bygones.
That's not gonna fly over well with anybody, man. Bygones be bygones, homie.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegus or come down to Dana, huh? And right now, Lenegus might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain...
Kairazim, do you guys happen to know the answer to my question above? I don't know where anyone got the idea in Naruto that every generation is better than the last when it is empathetically not true. Most generations get weaker in the series.
Indeed, I fully accepted the burden of that.
I'm not too sure.
In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alpha.
That would make for an icon, though.
I wouldn't say... you could definitely say Boruto's era got weaker, but I wouldn't say every era. Because the problem is that because it depends on the warring state. Because this is kind of the thing about the series is it's like any time the world was in a kind of a semi-peace, you didn't really need to train as hard because you weren't exactly sending children out to war.
I like how you say Boruto's generation got weaker when their Hokages are stronger in the last set.
You get so tense and formal.
Yes, the irony is there, but...
How does it feel knowing that Madara wouldn't have stood a chance in Boruto?
It's funny knowing that Gaara in that movie would basically be able to dick slap his way past the 6th-path Madara.
Gross.
Will you help me? You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shion? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
The canon reason she wears sunglasses because she's always looking at his junk.
For a really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years.
Imagine out of nowhere at the very end, when Boruto's sales start doing badly, he's just like, it was all an infinite Tsukuyomi, guys.
It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it, before it was too late.
I wonder if the fans would actually be chill with that, if they would get super pissed about it.
No, they'd fucking get really shitty.
Hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me
Boruto sales already doing badly? I doubt that.
a real person. And she very much cherished her own people too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved just so they could go back to hurting each other.
Zan, we can leave those cards for later, design new ones. There's one card for each archetype at the roll.
When we were talking to Kisara earlier about all that stuff, like
No, because that has to be in the starting deck, so I have to put it into... I think Razor's the only one who has enough space to put it in. Or not Razor, Rookie.
for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Either Rookie gets it or the 3-drop gets it. None of the others have enough space, because I don't think putting it at the top would be a smart idea. Well, we might not even need to put it at all, because it would just be in the rule list for what the icons are, but I guess it would be good to have for the starting set.
No, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to.
Madara should beat most of Boruto, since unlike 90% of them, he actually has a kit. Well, this is where it gets fucked, because as Kyle pointed out to me, technically...
All of the Kage were basically able to dick slap Hinshiki and Momoshiki and keep up with them. And they would be undoubtedly stronger than Kaguya and 6 past Madara.
Yeah. And Equalized? Yeah, and Equalized, they might have a chance, yeah.
Oh, if you equalize it, then Madara out-hacks them. But if you basically just rip them from the Boruto era, you basically have Kage who would be able to, like, demolish Kaguya in a fight.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
So, tomorrow, while I'm looking at the cards, I will see what card has enough space in Tom's deck to be a counter card, so it can be explained there.
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dan is still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alvin? I know
What are your thoughts, Alvin? I want to know what's...
Looks at Shion.
Although, if I'm being honest, we can make it a spell instead of just a freaking unit. It doesn't necessarily have to be a unit, it just has to be a card.
Make it a trap card.
Oh, actually, yeah, we can put like a DT bar. We can make like a silver DT bar instead of a golden one. Also, no, not a trap card, shut it.
Is going to be tied to us saving Shion.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Shion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Shion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is...
That would solve the space issue too, and then we would already be just reusing that space for other cards.
Shion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
When your girlfriend's God, but you still gotta kill her anyways to save her?
Shion. If these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
The question is, how do we confront it?
The question is, how do we confront it?
Flower growing out of Rena is enormous.
Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
We only know about the thorns.
And we only know about the thorns connection.
Originally, I wanted colors to differentiate the characters, but it might be a better idea moving forward to just give all character unit types icons maybe. Although for now it's fine as is.
Unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is.
For now, we'll just stick with the color thing. But yeah, no, we'll. And does counter need an icon?
Let's go give Hevrek 35 our answer.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Oh yeah, can I say how fucked it is that the project failed? They're like, it must have been the woman's fault.
If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell does
To be fair,
More important,
it was her fault.
Wow, Kyle. Wow.
Everyone on Lenegis is safe.
She's erasing the Alpha and lost control.
Lenegis is equipped
Bruh.
with starships that people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
We'll just put it like this. We'll put a counter where damage trigger goes. Discard this card to stop attack, or actually maybe not stop attack. Maybe we'll make it to prevent damage. I think would make more sense in this case. Did you just fucking yawn, bro? You're on your way to go fight God and you're yawning? You really?
Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that?
Oh no, go punch it.
You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will is throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the great spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience.
I mean, I guess we just do negate attack. Doesn't really matter.
Energy. And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Renus Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renus Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the great spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational. It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her.
Listen, I hear your plan, but it's such a stupid ass plan. I've elected to ignore it.
100 years ago, the great spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the great spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the great spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the great spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
Sorry, bro, I'm too much of a simp. That sounds reasonable, but I'm a simp, so we're not doing that.
Naori said that the Renus Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renus Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine controls on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alfred?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing.
Based.
We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may.
What you say is irrational.
To your demand.
Be that as it may. I shall accede to your demand.
I am an observer.
You'll agree?
The sovereign maiden and
I
Renis
am an
Alma
observer.
are my species'
The
greatest
Sovereign,
achievement.
Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement.
I wish to see
Bro, at this point, this guy already will slap God
I
necessary.
wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on
It is likely
Lenegis.
that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take
Well, I'm pretty sure that might say faster. How far can Rao get Naruto and Boruto?
The astral energy is most
They would for sure clear everything prior to the war arc.
Great Spirit's core.
The war arc's where it starts to get a little complicated, depending.
So right in the middle of that giant flower then.
Who's doing what now?
I have one more question. You
Hang
said
on.
that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
The planet's disappearing, bro.
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
So you're saying just gotta destroy a planet, bro. Bro,
The
easy.
collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Havrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar is all.
We're going to Rena.
Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Let's read the Ken and Rao. MFTL.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to.
The robot's like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Who the fuck? You think I fucking care?
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same.
Based.
Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
You.
Man, is it too much to ask for Heaven 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. I think we're mostly done with him. Now all we have to do is rest up and wait. Once the Fall Knights is good to go again, we'll be taking off for Rena right away.
Bruh.
Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. But with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Since when I remember the War Arc or FTL Plus was Hokuto should fuck up most characters, but who do you think gives them the most trouble?
It nearly killed
Madara. Or, actually, no, let me phrase this way, it makes sense. The Ten Tails Jinchuriki is gonna be the character who gives them the most trouble.
Your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Or actually, wait, does the Sage of Six Paths have a healing factor too, or not? Or, like, who has the healing factor? Is it just the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, or...?
The chances are slim to none.
Ten Tails Jinchuriki, old Jinchuriki.
I mean a good one, like one where like Madara
Yes.
had. Oh, okay, so you're telling me if I blow Naruto's fucking head off, he's gonna grow it back? No, shut the fuck up. I mean a good one. I mean one that's actually worth the damn, not fucking just oh yeah he'll heal back a fucking boo boo.
He heals back organs.
You're telling me when I read Naruto, there's gonna be a point where his fucking organs are destroyed, and he's just gonna heal them back with the Ten Tails.
He heals it back with the Nine Tails Sky. Sasuke literally Chidori's him through the fucking lung. In the Valley of the End, in the manga version, he Chidori's him through the lung.
Well, alrighty then. I'll be sure to see that for myself then. If that's the case, were they not expecting fucking Madara to have a healing factor? Or was my guy just desperate?
My guy was kind of desperate.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head on, don't you?
Declare that I would live my life for the living.
Well,
Not the dead.
I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead.
Remain dedicated to the cause.
Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
I don't believe I should be criticized.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light.
I can't trust Kyle. His takes are a little suspicious.
Stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad. Just like
Also, after thinking I won't get Leon. I watched some gameplays of the deck, and I was like, it's just Bruce but worse. Now I'll search for another thing. What the hell is that? Oh. My star rail turned on. My apologies.
As soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike.
Surely they won't all be able to get along.
Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends.
Dad. The hell was that?
That'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
Well,
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy
I don't believe so.
deal with one another as humans and nothing more.
When I was doing it, I folded over a paper towel a couple of times.
Yes, I do. I think it would
When I was doing it, I got a big bunch of paper towels and I folded them over a couple of times. So there was a big barrier between that and the bench.
How much does he cost?
Do you still plan to return to Lenegus when this is over?
I don't believe I did when I checked.
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside
I
in
don't believe so.
My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a
Yeah,
home.
fine.
You know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way.
Alright, the other two can't fuck, so you guys fuck.
But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Is lifting the Savior's hand better than Tyr's Temple feat?
Is what fate better than the Tyr's Temple?
Lifting the Savior's hand.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
If everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to.
Holy shit! Is it the end of the fucking game?
So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid.
I'm gonna say physically no.
Will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell.
In terms of strength?
I should have kept my mouth shut.
In terms of strength, I think Tyr's Temple should be heavier.
Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Coming from a family of mages?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
I finally decided to come along
When
with
we
you all.
rescued Zephyr and as I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning. Even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
I'm pretty sure the Savior feat is better.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad.
Yeah.
You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, this gets into your discussion of like how much does the Savior weigh?
You will?
There's no way for
For sure one way or I guess if you're taking kinetic energy because of the swing,
and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because
and not just its physical weight, maybe the Savior's feat's better.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
Oh, Zen, you thought about the idea I said for you for Rin's deck, where you make the life system of your deck like Vanguard's, only like the one. What the fuck? Why didn't you send me that?
What about a link system?
There's not a link system.
in a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will.
That's a no to pendulums then.
Dana's astral energy inside us.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Maybe.
Everett 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
I forgot, but yeah, one word instead of milling your deck, you have damage points instead, and you can use them as a second hand if you place your spell in your damage zone.
The only reason I was suspicious is Will.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious
At that point, we basically making Rin a Vanguard then.
it mostly was I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No. What were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
Yeah, she's not actually kidding. She's gonna kill you later. What the hell is Gate Roller? I hate these two.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
One rest between them there dies.
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Shion?
Same as you. Still trying to absorb everything.
I am wholesome.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? Well, that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
I am wholesome.
If I hadn't run into you that day, I would have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Zim, go to the meme chat for a sec.
Let me see.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something. Find the right armor. There's something I want you to do.
No, that's the correct pronunciation. I don't know what he's on about.
Like Hevrecht 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body and Rena.
Nah, when Bay's trying to suggest some crazy ass shit, nah.
I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the Blazing Sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma.
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma.
It's slain lords and beasts.
But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything that
Listen,
we...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike.
We don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere.
Giving him a separate life system would make it a little easier to work with his, basically his solo playstyle.
But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Damn, you could see the anger in his eyes for a minute there.
You should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen.
Shion, do you see this doll on my head? Do you think this is a joke to me?
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me.
Whoa.
My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
I That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to
Even
me.
once you could, though,
And when
you
you did,
still
I
chose
felt
to
this
keep reaching out to me.
warmth that I had
And when
never
you
known
did, I
before.
felt this warmth that I had never known before.
But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it.
But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
I do, because
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
You can tell me once my thorns are gone.
No.
Okay?
You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, look at them getting along. Sure hope nothing bad happens to them. Ha!
Get enough rest. Ready for this?
Everybody get enough
we
rest?
should probably get
You
moving.
ready for this?
Agreed. Can't stand around
Yeah,
waiting
we
all
should
day.
probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only to send down to Rena.
Our task's straightforward, guys. Let's kill the planet.
Both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
We will save our
Right.
lives.
We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Everything is working.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us?
Yeah.
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship.
Bruh.
They are Helganquil after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
Get that thing lightened up a bit.
We understand.
It says seems to be
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
You heard the lady. Get going.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
Your identification number indicates that
As
you are
Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
Just because others have entrusted this to us.
It exists because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions?
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand.
Damn. Tell them how you really feel, Alphine.
All right, time to get back.
He stopped asking the question. He's like, alright, they're not gonna explain it. Fuck them. I didn't want to know anyways. Oh, boy's putting in that sprint.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
No big deal. Just gonna go fight God. No big deal. There are no any amount of ramifications that feel bad about this situation.
And we couldn't have parked just a smidge closer.
It's close enough, Kyle. Get to it.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world?
Alright, guys, you see God right there? Let's kick his ass.
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
The Great Spirit turned its
With
sights
nothing
on
left
Dana,
here to consume,
looking for another
the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying we don't stop.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
Bruh.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from
Rep Uni, only planetary is possible.
Let's take a look.
No, technically, the statement still gives that everything will be destroyed, which means that will still include the stars and everything. This is just how a planet does it right now. Because her vision's different from what the planet did here. So something else is going on with the current situation.
This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let
Her vision showed like a giant explosion.
Well, the problem is that her vision wasn't a fucking draining over time, or just the planet. It was everything fucking dying.
Hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
Blaming Law!
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something.
Bro, a lot of
Don't swim in it. I'm not going to. I said don't swim in it. I'm not in it. Don't swim in it. For fuck's sake, I'm not going to.
How do we do
I like how Dolim's one's like, well, Law, you want to test it out? And they're blaming him when Dolim suggested it too.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in
By the way, Kyle will be doing the Sword Art Online DLC.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their hope,
I mean, I can do it at some point. At some point when I get a little bit further, because I'm not going to do it on stream. I want to also do the cameo battles. But I have to do a whole bunch of quests before I can unlock that. I'll do that in my own time.
Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
What do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renans, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands.
Dolim should be like, guys, stop taking my line. I chose the music one. Stop taking it, please.
Power to set an example, but with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day,
there will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Manuel. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
I wonder what Hilganquil civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
We didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let me die.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And
Exoskeleton?
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean just that, I guess.
I was actually gonna go a little darker with that. I was gonna say we'll have to write in the corpses of Helligans.
Hugely? Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking maybe meat.
Get him, Hoodle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle.
Ow, ow, ow! Seriously, what the hell?
Here it is, Kyle. The throne room of God. What will you do?
Helganquil. Guess they don't need their red woman disguises
You
anymore.
understand us?
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
I knew there was something off here.
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
You're getting your ass kicked over there. You okay?
There's such a high level.
Let's hope they don't have any healing powers. So, there's a game I recently saw footage for that seems really fucking silly, where you're a guy with one arm having to crawl across an entire area, and you have to fight other people by shooting them while basically bleeding out the entire time.
I've never heard this Kojima game.
Oh yeah, did I ever tell you that fucking the Baki community basically is just trying to gaslight themselves now to try and figure out what was the point of the sumo arc? Was there actually more to it?
Why are they just confused?
Yeah, because they had an entire fucking series and it meant nothing! The biggest letdown of the sumo arc is specifically that you could not. They never actually did the fight between two sumo guys.
Forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them.
Did Jack ever come back seriously, or did he have like 2 good victories and then he went back to being mid?
The next arc starts with, well, the next series has already started, and it's Jack beating the shit out of this one katana wielder who looks like Musashi, but it's not Musashi.
Oh my god, are they building up to Jack being able to fight Musashi?
I wouldn't be surprised if Musashi comes back, but the main matchup that was set up from the last series was Jack versus Pickle.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil. Seeing as
Is Oliver doing anything, or is he still just coping?
I think after he... Oh, well, did you not read the end of the sumo arc?
No, I haven't.
Oh, so his back came back and he beat the shit out of the guy who broke it.
Oh, so he must be very pleased with himself.
Well, he called it just doing some rehab.
Baki, the only series where you get injured and you come back stronger.
Well, so this is where there's an interesting discussion to be had. I think looking back on the Olivia fight, Olivia was never weaker than him. It's just because he was grabbing onto his fucking back when he did it.
Do you think we could have got along with them?
Because he smacks
And now that
him.
you know, so what you're saying is that now that Biscuit knew what he was looking for.
So when they fight, Biscuit says, "I didn't do this right last time," and the sumo guy's like, "No, I just didn't let you do it." But when he tries to do the same move again, this time Biscuit just he flexes like a bodybuilder instead of doing the whole downward pose, and he pops off the guy's hands from his fucking back.
That's fucking raw.
Oh, he destroys him. Although he does basically say, he doesn't state that the guy's like weak, but he says that because well, did you read the Jack fight or not?
I did.
So you know how Jack tore off his pinky, right?
Yeah.
So what Biscuit says is, without your pinky, you can't create diamonds anymore. Because they have a battle of grip strength, and he loses. The sumo guy loses their grip battle.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
It's kind of funny because he's all like, "You think you can beat me in a battle of strength when I'm double your size? You must have a lot of confidence in those comically large muscles." And Olivia just like crushes him with one hand.
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot.
So how many characters in the Sumo series actually got like good showings instead of being treated like trash?
After the Jack fight, it's just Olivia comes back, and then in one of the strangest decisions he ever made, he goes out of his way basically to shit on the sumo fighters. The sumo fighters get fucking ragdolled after the sumo
By
war.
everyone.
Not by everyone, because not everyone fights them again, but every fight they have after, they get ragdolled. Did you
What about Orochi?
Well, did you read the Orochi fight versus the other sumo guy, or no?
No, I did not.
Orochi breaks his fucking... So, this guy was set up as a master, like, you know, kick fighter. His kicks are incredible. He's fucking crazy. Orochi's kicks are not only stronger, he breaks the guy's ankle in their first clash with their kicks. So, that's where I think a lot of fans are confused. Because the sumo guys get treated like shit after a certain point in the series.
Did Pickle get a fight?
No. Pickle, well, no, because Pickle would probably fucking murder them. Bro, if fucking Orochi over there is breaking their fucking feet, Pickle's just gonna walk over and fucking crush them. Although he did put up a good fight against Olivia. It's just that the fight was controlled by Olivia 100% of the time, and at the very end he gets one good punch in, and that's about it. But like Olivia walks away, and that guy's just on the ground passing out. So you know.
It sounds like it has a lot of raw moments, but it does feel like why.
Well, like, why introduce all these new fighters if their whole purpose is to...
So it's kind of like the Chinese tournament.
Yeah, but you know what? The Chinese tournament treated the characters better.
And forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to...
No, because the worst part about it is the very last thing the guy did. The sumo guy claimed that he could go all out in 10 seconds and just burn out his body's energy. And that within those 10 seconds, he would beat anybody. Because the old man asks him, "Who do you want me to call?" He's like, "Bring anybody you want, I'll beat them in 10 seconds. So he calls Baki, and Baki beats him in 9 seconds.
whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
So he's not even trying to like make it seem close now. So he's just made the entire everyone in the sumos look like pushovers.
So, no. So, Baki beats him in like 9 seconds, but what Baki says is, I couldn't beat you in a straightforward fight, so I had to resort to tricks. But let me clarify what he means by tricks. He means, I'm going to graze your chin to knock you out, and I'm going to roll into your punch to avoid the full effect.
So you mean what he usually does in every fight?
Yeah, so basically, Baki's trying to like play it off, but the sumo guy's like, bro, what you're calling tricks is just your techniques. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
So he called him out on that. So did he actually call him out on that bullshit? He's just like, but that's how you always fight.
No. He just said what you're calling tricks is just technique. It's just your body's home techniques. No, because the guy tries to fucking have his cake and eat it too. And the very last panel of the sumo arc is just, the other sumo guy is like, hey, now that the fight with sumo's over, you guys want to eat a nice meal? And he brings like this whole potluck full of like a lot of food. It was literally a canon filler arc. If we're going to argue what the point of the arc was, I would have to say the point of the arc was to reintroduce Jack with Godo and maybe set up Olivia for a comeback later on? Oh yeah, Kyle, 8 more days until spring starts. Good, I can't fucking wait to get back in the winter. Holy shit. I've been missing
Good, I can't wait for the heat to come back.
You want to repeat what you just said, little boy?
Also, no, I fucking hate working in the cold.
You hate working in the cold? Well,
I hate working in the cold. I'm like a snake. I'm waiting for the sun to come out.
Oh yeah, and Yujiro does have another fight. So this is weird. The sumo guys fight Yujiro, and that's like their only good feat, because afterwards they get stomped by everybody else.
So, do they do well against him?
The second sumo guy who shows up, he tries to kick Yujiro, but Yujiro's faster than him, and Yujiro counters all his attacks. But he has a really cool moment. He jumps into the air, and Yujiro's expecting the other foot, because right now Yujiro has one of his feet locked between his left leg. So the guy jumps into the air, and Yujiro's expecting him to use his other foot to kick, but instead, the guy picks Yujiro up off the ground with the foot he has locked, and he kicks Yujiro up into the air with the same foot. So he just picks him up and throws him with the same foot. And then Yujiro comes back and immediately throws him into the stratosphere. No, so he throws him up past the ceiling, and the guy's like laughing like, holy shit, I can't believe that worked. Instantly, Yujiro comes back and he's all like, hey, let's do that again real quickly. Let's do that again. Yeah, let's do that again.
Let's run that back.
Now you go into the stratosphere. No, and that's a great showing. He not only lifted Yujiro, he sent him flying. It didn't hurt Yujiro, but that's still pretty impressive. But then the guy immediately fights Doppo Orochi, and Orochi breaks his fucking bones on impact.
So, this is the kind of problem that Baki's gotten into now that's going on for so long, is that if anyone can even stand up to Yujiro at this point and do anything, and anyone can fuck up that person, then that means the gap between them and Yujiro is not that, vast.
At first, I thought Yujiro's training was just because he was bored, but I think Yujiro himself might acknowledge the other fighters are getting absurdly fucking strong. I think part of the reason he trains so much is because he knows they'll overtake him.
Well, let's look at it. Well, let's look at it this way. If you took Yujiro from Grappler Baki, like the first series, and you put him against a lot of the characters where they are now, they should win. Like, even Gaia should be able to beat him.
any character who has shown up in the recent arcs would have fucking ragdolled Yujiro at the start of the series. This is where it gets kind of stupid because they keep talking about Yujiro being stronger than America, but in context, they're all stronger than America. Kyle, the Australian snake? Yes.
In fact, if I remember correctly, Baki was so strong he was pushing back all of America.
Yeah, but if that Baki squared up to fucking... If that Baki squared up now, he would get fucking destroyed. Zimmer in a previous comment. Man, Kyle can't wait to start sweating like R. Kelly in Disneyland. The fuck?
I'm sorry, what is this in reference to?
Apparently your heat. You wind the heat.
And why am I being referred to as R. Kelly?
You want to ask Sparta? That's his fucking... That's a question you ask Sparta.
If he's referring to summer, it's just like, dude, I'm sorry, winter fucking sucks. Winter is only good if you work inside. When your job literally consists of wearing clothes outside and gloves on your hands, as soon as those fuckers get wet, that's it. You've got wet gloves for the entire week, or until you wash them again. I'm like most people who tell me, oh, well, winter is such a good time. They're usually the same people who don't have to work outside.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Bruh. No, it's just a joke. Kyle's cold-blooded, huh? Yes.
No, like, I legitimately can't stand the cold. Like, it physically hurts me.
I see.
Like, I don't mean, like, oh, it hurts as a joke. I mean, like, it actually causes me pain.
We managed to pull through.
No wonder your manager doesn't take you seriously. You start saying the cold makes you feel pain and they start gaining on your ass because you're like, stop complaining.
No, I literally show up to work with 2 jumpers on.
That was a jumper.
For real?
Well, I might know it by a different name. Does TikTok suck in power scaling? Yes, Cypher does.
Something's wrong with me. You just say the word and I'm there. I can't believe it's come to this.
Type of men's... That's just a fucking sweater!
Yes, a jumper.
I hate you. So yeah, no, that's why all the Baki fans don't really understand what the hell the whole point of the Sumo arc was. Because it's not even that the characters didn't do anything, it's that they all got fucking ragdolled as well. So we're not even talking like... We're not talking the basic concept of like, oh, okay, well, you know, no major characters happen.
So are we talking like, the kind of ragdoll where they'll set up like the most evil convicts, or...
I mean, all I'm going to say is that the best and most fair fights were literally the ones at the start of the series, and that was still heavily one-sided. Well, with the exception of the Olivia fight and the Jack fight, but the Jack fight was weird. Go on.
So would you say, like, they were treated the way the convicts were treated?
Maybe a little worse, actually. Because while the convicts were set up as strong, they weren't set up to be on, like... I think it's Musashi. I think Musashi just kind of ruined antagonists in general. For Baki. Like, fucking Musashi was just too fucking good.
They should really do a run back with the convicts. Or would you disagree with that?
You find out Dorian's been just fucking trolling everyone the whole time.
Well, if you go by the epilogue of like the convicts arc, he's technically been training the entire time he fucking paints.
Bruh.
These structures don't look like anything.
Another reason why Australia lost a bunch of birds. For reals.
This is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like how some places favor building stuff with stone, while others rely on wood?
Everyone's out of Ursel according to TikTok, even Anos.
I'll have to inquire with Hevrect 35 about it sometime.
I keep hearing that name, but I've never bothered to check the series he's from.
Is that the guy with the waifu? Let me see.
You could literally say that about a lot of different series. You have to be a little bit more clear.
Okay, yeah, no, I understand. No, it's because I was thinking of somebody else. No, this is a character who basically, I think he was the Demon King in his past life. He dies, and then what happens is he gets reincarnated as a baby, and then freaking and then he just like grows up to an adult in 2 days and just goes to like college immediately.
I see. In terms of his power set, isn't he supposed to be like the modern equivalent of fucking, what was his name from DSRA, fucking Heinrich or something?
I don't touch that series at all. I know the character vaguely because I saw a few clips on Crunchyroll, but I did not bother to watch it. Misfit and Demons of the King's Academy. I guess that's what it's called. Motherfuckers really act like they would do better against the emus. We'd fucking destroy them, bro. What are you talking about? Those emus wouldn't have stood a chance.
You're not pronouncing it right.
Emus? No, it is.
Emu.
God, you really want me to just emphasize that fucking U, don't you?
It's emu.
Emu.
No, emu.
Why do you want that fucking space so damn much?
Because that's how it's fucking pronounced.
Fuck you, I'll pronounce it how I want.
No, this is why no one takes you seriously as an English major.
And yeah, I have the degree and I could prove it to you fuckers.
And yet no one takes you seriously and you fuck up all the time and you can't pronounce anything.
Actually, everyone takes me seriously when it comes to my English degrees and papers and stuff. It's just you fuckers who don't because you guys think pronouncing shit is a sign of fucking not knowing what the English language is.
I want you to remember that the next time I start speaking Spanish to you, and I want you to shut the fuck up about pronunciations.
No, you say it like a white guy. I already know how you're gonna say it.
What's that supposed to mean? I pronounce it like a white guy.
Yeah.
Can you roll your R's?
I can on occasion.
Do it.
No.
So you can't roll your R's.
I can.
Prove it.
I already have done it several times before.
No, you haven't.
I'm sorry if your memory's as bad as your work ethic. This is why.
Roll your R's.
This is why you don't.
Show me. Show me you
roll
your R's.
This is why, despite working a 5-hour work shift, you have no money.
Show me you can roll your R's.
No. That's
we get
beta shit. Zim, you literally pronounced Millennia wrong. Millennia, whatever. You pronounced everything wrong.
What the? I have to have a look at the chat. What the fuck are you trying to pronounce?
Is it Melina? I don't know if the I said.
Melania.
That's weird. Did Kyle become French for a second?
I mean, I don't ring women, so I can't be French.
If you say so.
Also, French are some of the most disgusting people you could ever meet.
No, that's just the people in Paris specifically.
It's funny how you're not pronouncing that correctly. It's funny that the English language doesn't pronounce that city correctly at all.
You mean Paris?
Yeah.
Don't come to me about fucking French. I know French actually.
And yet you don't know how to pronounce. How fun.
No, it's because I pronounce it the way the English language pronounces it. Similar to how that one guy bitched and moaned in JoJo's about how people pronounce Venice when it's, I believe,
Venezia.
Venezia, thank you. Yeah, and that's why he died, because he wasn't using his English language effectively.
He's Italian!
Yeah, and he's dead now.
Touche.
Maybe when Italians become real, maybe he'll stand a chance. Elden Ring 2 has been confirmed. Great, so Elden Ring 2 will come out in like fucking 10 years.
Aren't you excited?
I don't know why the fuck you guys want an Elden Ring 2. It won't come out anywhere near fucking soon enough. Are we still supposed to get that fucking sequel? Or not sequel, but are we supposed to get that DLC? Oh yeah, we're getting Little Nightmares
I don't know
3.
but we sure are hauling a lot of stuff these days.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. Glad to hear I'm not the only one.
We should probably clear some stuff out. Like our old weapons we're not using anymore. They must be in pretty bad shape by now.
No way. Those are still good as new with a little polish. If anything, I'd say all our armor's what's weighing us down.
But that armor's also still good once you fix it up. Besides, better to have too much armor than too little. You can trust me on that one.
Well, what about all these dumb old antiques we're lugging around? That should lighten our load.
Simpletons such as yourself who can't appreciate the true worth of such things is how precious art vanishes from history.
Pretty art's not gonna save you in a fight, man.
Stop it, you guys. This is no time to...
All I really meant to say is, you can tell how much we've been through by everything we're carrying around. Honestly, that's all.
She's lying.
Oh.
My deepest apologies. It appears that I may have rather overreacted.
You and your team's a bunch of fucking hoarders.
We'd have so many souvenirs by now. I might have been out of line too.
I guess all this stuff really is a sign of how far we've come together.
Yeah, every little piece is its own treasure, filled with memories.
Guess we don't know our own strength.
You could say that again.
That team is all a bunch of murder hobos. This is so forced, it's not even funny. What are you talking about? The dialogue? No. It's a little heavy-handed, sure, but that's just the way stories are. You could argue the same. Kyle was looking at the enemies thinking to himself, I can't beat those fuckers like this. It's where we're getting our little nightmares.
This won't be easy. Don't be such a pessimist.
Will you be playing that DLC when it comes out?
For what? Elden Ring? Yeah.
You make playing Elden Ring sound like such a job.
Because it fucking is.
Do you really not enjoy it that much?
It suffers from the problem that I have with a lot of games nowadays. Not every game needs to be a fucking open world, and Elden Ring, of all the things, desperately should never have been an open world.
Aren't all the Souls games open world?
No, they're all based on levels. It's just that there's no loading screen between them. Would you call God of War 3 a open world game or no?
No.
Exactly. So that's what you would call the other Dark Souls games. The problem is that with Elden Ring, this fucking asshole decided to fucking jerk himself off in front of every one of his developers, and they all decided to just fucking extend the map for every time a sploosh came out. So there's so much dead fucking space on maps that could have been like half the fucking size, and it would have been perfectly fine.
Is this one of those games where they say, oh, it's open world and it's so huge, but you look at it and there's just nothing to do? And it's super fucking sparse?
Okay, so let me put it to you this way. There's more to do in Elden Ring than like... Actually, no, I think there's more to do in GTA than there is in Elden Ring most of the time. Yeah, people were just fucking jerking themselves off like, oh, this is how you do a real open world. Oh, there's so much shit to do. And that half of the shit out there is completely fucking worthless for 90% of the fucking builds. And then on top of that, most of this shit's hidden away in caves. It's not even on the actual map.
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of, like, series that have open worlds for the sake of having open worlds if there's nothing to do in them.
The problem is that, like, so you're gonna be driving around non-stop, not driving around, you're gonna, hang on. Hang on. Oh, there we go. You're going to be, most of the fucking time, just running around your horse trying to find what to do or trying to find shit to do. You're going to be actively looking for shit to do.
So you tell me it's just like, I'm praying for a side quest.
Well, there are no side quests in Elden Ring.
What do you mean? It's an RPG.
Dark Souls games do not have side quests in the way you're thinking. You have to look up on a wiki where the fuck to go. So let me explain to you how a Dark Souls side quest works because you've never played Dark Souls. You talk to a random guy at a random city location. They will not tell you where they will end up next, and they will not tell you what you need to do. You will randomly find this person in the world later on in some random fucking location. Sometimes it makes sense. Never fucking actually does. And then the questline continues. Sometimes you need an item, sometimes you don't. If you need an item, they'll never tell you where it is. It could be halfway across the planet. It could be in the fucking secret dimension under the 7 fucking suns. Just find the random item and bring it back here.
What's the rhyme or reason?
So, Solaire, they're all like Solaire. They're all like Solaire. Also, you, Kafka Rose, you. How do I use the artifacts? Go on.
That sounds utterly insane.
You want to do the side quest? You gotta look up a walkthrough to do the side quest. Otherwise, you're gonna be wasting your time searching for hours on end.
That sounds ludicrous.
No, Kyle, it's one of the greatest games ever made of all time. Oh, to be fair, they've had this problem with every single game they've made for the Dark Souls series. This isn't just an Elden Ring problem. They've never been good at side quests. I don't think they want to do side quests, honestly.
Is that why they make them so fucking hard to do?
So, they can be rewarding, but most of them are just find the NPC again. But for example, one of the side quests in Elden Ring is a girl gets a hold of some magical herpes, so she is dying. It's like an incurable herpes. So, you just talk to her and that's it. That's it. She doesn't say anything else. You gotta go find the boss, kill it, get a hold of a golden needle, take that golden needle to another random NPC, and that NPC will use the golden needle to stall her herpes. Once her herpes has been stalled, she'll thank you and she'll leave. Now, halfway across the map, in a random fucking castle that has no connection to any of this fucking quest whatsoever, you find a severed arm. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder who it belongs to. Well, it belongs to the herpes chick, but you can only give it to her after you talk to her the second or third time. And once she...
Wait, why is she missing an arm?
Good question. I don't think the game ever answers it. We just find her with the missing arm because she has herpes. So...
And wait, it can still be reattached?
No, it's a mechanical arm. I'm just saying a severed arm because, like... I don't know why she's missing an arm. I think it's because her mom's missing an arm. And she's technically her mom, technically not. I don't know. The game never really explains it. So, going on.
If I'm this lost and you're fucking explaining it, and this game explains nothing, that would give me the shits.
So From Software games have this really fun habit of never explaining anything under any circumstances ever.
I wouldn't call it a fun habit.
Zim, what artifacts in how do I make my character stronger in fucking Star Rail, you fucking bastard. Although I'm still in the early game. To be honest, Zim, it isn't herpes, it's conceptual rot. That's just what herpes is with extra steps. Look, the point is... Grind? Motherfuckers asking me to grind in the mobile game? What is this? Use the correct light cones. You mean the fucking... What the fuck is a light cone? The pictures? The Puppet Demons in DMC1 says it's 11D? No, it doesn't.
No, they don't.
The hell are you talking about, Famog?
I've been through that game top to bottom. No, they fucking don't.
Might be a Japanese guide statement. Also, it's not you have to discover the story on your own, Sparta. You're fucking lying. You know damn well that From Software doesn't confirm anything in their fucking games. They give you... So, they'll give you a brief lore overview and some answers. But even then, the answers they give you at times are kind of like, it could have been this, or it could have been this. Like, they never properly explain why Queen America... unless I'm mistaken here. I don't think they ever properly explained this. They never explain why Queen America fucks herself to create children. Now, let me explain this in a way that makes sense. Because you think what I mean is that she finger blasts herself and then just comes out a baby. No. She becomes a man and then fucks herself as a woman, but they can't exist at the same time together because they swap bodies?
So what, does he come in a jar and then fucking switches back and puts it in?
I'm assuming. Although the question becomes is like, does that count as incest or not if you're fucking yourself as a different gender? If it's your same body, or is it just masturbation at that point?
One of nature's mysteries.
That sounds like the worst fetish ever. Well, it was helped by George R.R. Martin. It's in the Japanese guidebook for 11D fucking manic.
Can you send that? Can you send that? Like, if you're on the Discord, we would very much like to see that. If that's real, or if you can source the guidebook.
Dark Souls 2 does something similar, but Dark Souls 2's story is actually not the same. I actually disagree with Sparta's opinion here, because Dark Souls 2 actually has a story. Because not only is there a story told to us directly from witnesses in the Three Kingdoms, or at least in the Ice Kingdom, but you actually have the Scholar of the First Sin talking to you about the events of the kingdom and shit. So Dark Souls 2 is a lot more clear. They do explain most of the stuff. It's just in the lore and items bits that Dim doesn't want to read. No, it's that they don't do a good job of explaining it. Also, yeah, Kai, everything I told you is not told to you as the player. You have to find random items in the world that will hopefully tell you more about the story. And if you don't pick up the right item...
I remember that. I remember that because you were telling me how people say that like Dark Souls have fantastic stories, but then you asked me, what do you consider a story? Do you consider like shit being fed to you through artifact story? And I said no.
I'm gonna tell you this right fucking now. There was a better and more cohesive story in SMT3 than there was in the entirety of fucking anything done by From Software when it comes to the Soul series. Kyle, if you get it, we'll play co-op. Oh, that's right. Devil can just carry you in Elden Ring. You can just play with Devil. He'll carry you.
I have no fucking interest in Elden Ring whatsoever.
That's the right idea. Look, I'll never call Elden Ring a bad game. I'm just saying I'm kind of done with From Software's fucking cheeky-ass game design. Because it just kept... The combat and moves have gotten better and everything else just gotten worse.
Well, I'm more interested in finding out if that 11D statement's fucking true.
Code Vein? Devil, stop thinking with your dick. Code Vein wasn't that good either. It just fucking had anime characters. Cypher, just send Fumog your DM and send it that way. I could have sworn Fumog was in the server at one point, though. I remember seeing that name.
You have to go to bed?
Yeah, although to be fair, it's a little bit past 3 a.m., so I can't be too mad at her. Well, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I have to take off. Kyle will just save after his fight's done, and you know, do that.
You can end the stream. I'll just save after the fight's done.
All right.
Yeah, Cypher, see if you can get that scan and then send it to me if you're able to get it.
All right.